Dimly lit apartment, a woman, Awele, sits before a candle, her hands trembling as she clutches a string of cowrie shells. Her eyes are wide with fear. Awele, it will happen. The curse is real. Her husband Femi scoffs from across the room, pouring himself a drink. Femi, you and your superstitions again, Awele. This is Abuja, not some shrine in the forest. Awele's face is pale. She sees something Femi doesn't. Her daughter, Tani, walking into destruction. The vision had come again, stronger than before. Awele, if Tani goes to that party tonight, she will never return the same. Inside a luxurious university hostel, Tani sits on her bed, scrolling through her phone. A message from her best friend Bimbo pops up. VIP invite to Kola Banks' party tonight. Don't dull. Tani's heart races with excitement. Kola Banks, one of the richest boys on campus. This was her chance to finally belong, to escape her mother's constant paranoia. Just as she's about to reply, Awele calls. Awele? Tani, I beg no go anywhere tonight. I see something back. Tani, Mommy, please, you always see something. Let me enjoy my life, I beg. She hangs up. A massive mansion in Maitama. The party is wild, red lights, loud Afrobeats, and expensive champagne flowing. Tani steps in, her dress hugging her body like a second skin. All eyes turn to her. Kola. Who be this fine babe? Tani blushes. The night feels like a dream. Drinks, dancing, laughter. But then she starts to feel lightheaded. Her vision blurs. The room spins. Bimbo? Tani, you dey okay? Tani tries to speak, but her lips feel heavy. Her limbs refuse to move. Kola. Relax, babe. Not just a small cruise. Two men grab her by the arms. They lead her down a hallway. A door closes behind them. Back home, Awele wakes up with a scream. Her heart pounds violently. She knows something is wrong. She grabs her phone and dials Tani. No answer. Awele? God, I beg, no let my pikin suffer. She throws on a wrapper and rushes into the night. Back at the mansion, Tani's eyes flutter open. She's lying on a cold floor, her dress torn. The men are gone, but the damage is done. She stumbles to her feet, tears streaming down her face. Tani, no. Mommy was right. Her phone buzzes. She picks it up, but her hands shake too much to respond. Awele's text. Daughter, the curse has begun. Tani looks in the mirror. Her reflection is different. Her eyes are darker, emptier. She feels something inside her. Something evil. The party, the betrayal, the curse her mother had seen it all. The once lively Tani now sits on the floor, hugging her knees. The lights flicker, casting eerie shadows across the walls. She hasn't been outside in days. She barely eats. She barely sleeps. She is not the same. Her phone vibrates. It's Bimbo. Bimbo. Babe, why you just ghost everybody? Wetin happened that night? Tani stares at the screen. She doesn't remember. All she knows is that she woke up in that house, broken. And since then, strange things have been happening. Mirrors crack when she looks at them. She hears whispers when she's alone. She wakes up with scratches on her body. And worst of all, Kola Banks is dead. Awele storms into a church, breathless, clutching a white cloth. Tani's bedsheet, now covered in strange black marks. The pastor, a middle-aged man with deep scars on his face, watches her with knowing eyes. Awele. Pastor, I beg, my pikin don carry something wey no be her own. I warned her, but she no listen. The pastor takes the cloth, sniffs it, then recoils. Pastor, this one pass ordinary. A spirit of vengeance don't enter her. If we no act fast, she go destroy herself and everybody around her. Awele falls to her knees. Tell me wetin to do. Back in her apartment, Tenny stands in front of the mirror, breathing heavily. Her reflection smiles at her, but she is not smiling. She steps back. Her hands tremble. Tenny, wetin be this? The lights flicker again. A knock at the door. She turns slowly. Another knock, louder this time. She moves toward the door, heart pounding, and opens it. It's Bimbo. Bimbo. Tenny, wetin do you? I dey fear for you. Tenny stares at her friend, but something inside her stirs. Her eyes flicker black for a second. A voice whispers in her head. She was there that night. She didn't stop them. Tenny's breathing grows heavy. Was Bimbo part of it? Did she know? Did she watch? Her fingers twitch. A terrible energy builds inside her. Bimbo takes a step back. Bimbo? Tenny, why your eyes stay like that? Then, blackout. When the lights return, Bimbo is gone. Only her phone remains on the floor, its screen cracked. Tenny gasps, stepping back. No. No be me. No be me. She looks at her hands, dripping with blood. Awele bursts into Tenny's apartment, holding a bottle of anointing oil. She finds her daughter sitting on the floor, rocking back and forth. Awele, Tenny, wetin you do? Tenny slowly lifts her head. Her eyes are pure black now. Her lips tremble as she speaks. Tenny, Mama, I think saying Ami they killed them. Awele freezes. Tenny, Kola, those boys. Now Bimbo? I no remember, but I dey see blood for my hands. She looks at her mother with tears in her eyes. Tenny, Mama, I no be human again. Awele grips her chest. The omen had come true. The curse had just begun. Awele rushes to Tenny's side, shaking her violently. Awele, Tenny, talk to me. Where Bimbo body? Tenny looks up, her black eyes flickering back to brown. She doesn't remember. Tenny, Mama, I swear, I no know wetin happen. Awele grabs the anointing oil and pours it over Tenny's head. The moment the oil touches her skin, Tenny screams in pain, as if fire is burning her from the inside. She thrashes, her body twisting unnaturally. The mirror behind her shatters. Then, a voice speaks from the broken glass. She belongs to us now. Awele jumps back in fear. Awele, who be you? But there is no reply, just a shadow moving in the cracks of the mirror. At the university, students whisper in fear. Bimbo has gone missing. Her last known location? Tenny's apartment. Kola Banks and his men are already dead under mysterious circumstances. Now, Bimbo? The police arrive at the hostel, knocking on doors. Tenny knows they are coming for her. Her phone vibrates. A message from an unknown number. Run. She grips the phone tightly, her breath heavy. Who sent it? Awele storms into the room. Awele, pack your things. We dey go see the one man wey fit help you. Tenny. Who? Awele. Pastor Ebuka. Awele and Tenny arrive at a hidden church in the outskirts of Abuja. The moment Pastor Ebuka sees Tenny, he freezes. Pastor Ebuka, why una bring am here? Awele. Pastor, na my pikin. You must help am. The pastor steps back. Pastor Ebuka, no be only your pikin dey here, madam. Something dey inside her. Something we no suppose still dey this world. Tenny's body shakes violently. Her breath quickens. The air in the room changes. Pastor Ebuka, where she go 2 weeks ago? Wetin she do? Awele, nah, that party. Before she can finish, Tenny's voice changes. Deep, dark, nothing like her own. Tenny, she was given to us. Awele gasps. Pastor Ebuka grips his Bible, his voice suddenly urgent. Pastor Ebuka, we must cast this thing out, now. Tenny is tied to a chair. Candles burn around her. Pastor Ebuka and 3 prayer warriors begin to pray, their voices shaking the walls. Tenny thrashes violently. Tenny, in a dark voice, una go regret this. Awele clutches her chest in fear. but Pastor Ebuka doesn't stop. Then, boom! The windows explode, the candles go out. Darkness fills the room. A voice speaks from the shadows. You cannot save her. Awele screams. Tenny's head jerks back. Her body goes limp. Her eyes roll back. Pastor Ebuka, Jesus Christ, we're losing her. Suddenly, Tenny's body stops moving. The room is silent, cold, dead. Awele rushes to her daughter, shaking her. Awele, Tenny, wake up, my pikin. Tenny's eyes slowly open, but they are not hers anymore. She smiles, a wicked, knowing smile. Tenny whispers, Mama, I remember everything now. Awele's blood runs cold. Tenny, I know who did this to me. She turns to Pastor Ebuka, her black eyes locked onto his. Tenny, and I know who must die next. Awele's heart pounds as she stares at her daughter. Tenny's black eyes gleam with a dangerous light. Tenny, whispering, I know who did this to me. Pastor Ebuka clutches his Bible tighter, his voice firm. Pastor Ebuka, Tenny, who? Tenny tilts her head, a slow, eerie smile spreading across her lips. Tenny, Mama, now you? Awele gasps. Awele, me? Wetin you dey talk? Tenny, you knew. You saw it before it happened, but instead of stopping it, you let me go. Awele staggers back. Awele, no, I beg you, my pikin. Tenny's voice deepens, filled with something dark. Tenny, you had the power to stop the curse before it started, but you were too weak. Suddenly, the candles blow out. The entire room shakes. Pastor Ebuka opens his Bible, chanting louder, but Tenny only laughs. Tenny, no be prayer go stop waiting done already start. Her body levitates slightly, her arms stretching unnaturally. Awele screams, Awele, Pastor, do something. Then Tenny's voice changes again, deeper, angrier. A spirit speaks through her. Spirit, tell her the truth, Awele. Tell her what you did many years ago. Pastor Ebuka turns to Awele, his eyes sharp. Pastor Ebuka, Madam, within the spirit they talk? Awele trembles. Awele, I made a promise. Pastor Ebuka, promise to who? Tears fall down Awele's face as she whispers, Awele, to a spirit before Tenny was born. Flashback to 22 years ago. A younger Awele kneels before an old shrine in a hidden part of Abuja, desperate for a child. Awele, please, I need a child. I go do anything. A deep voice speaks from the shadows. Spirit, give me something in return. Awele nods quickly. Anything. Spirit, when the child turns 21, I will take her. Awele, blinded by desperation, agrees. Scene 4, the curse. Awakens. Back in the present, Tenny's eyes widen with realization. Tenny, you sold me before I was even born? Awele falls to her knees. Awele, I didn't think it would happen. I tried to stop it. Tenny laughs bitterly, but tears fall from her eyes. Tenny, you knew I was cursed from the beginning. No wonder you kept warning me. Her body shudders violently, the spirit inside her growing stronger. The room gets darker. Pastor Ebuka quickly draws a circle with white chalk. Pastor Ebuka, we can still fight this. We go break this curse now. Tenny screams in pain, her body twisting. Tenny, no. It's too late. He's coming. Suddenly, boom. The church doors fly open. A dark, monstrous figure steps inside, his shadow stretching across the walls. Spirit, I have come for what is mine. Awele screams. The monstrous spirit steps forward, its body shifting like black smoke, its eyes glowing red. Awele trembles as she shields her daughter. Spirit, I have come for what is mine. Pastor Ebuka raises his Bible, chanting louder, but the spirit laughs deeply, shaking the entire church. Tenny, still in pain, looks at her mother. Tenny, Mama, tell me say, he get way to stop this. Awele, tears falling, shakes her head slowly. Awele. I know, no. Ooh. Tenny's face hardens. Tenny. Then I go find my own way. Suddenly, she lunges forward. Tenny rushes toward the spirit, but it raises a hand, flinging her back violently. She crashes against the altar, gasping for breath. Spirit. You cannot fight me, child. You were promised to me before you were even born. Tenny's body trembles, but then she starts laughing. A low, eerie laugh. Tenny. Maybe now you dey fight me, but you forget say, I be your own blood. The spirit hesitates. Tenny slowly stands, her body glowing faintly. Pastor Ebuka gasps. Jesus, she dey reject the curse from inside? Awele watches in shock. Awele. Tenny. How? Tenny steps forward, her hands burning with an unknown power. Tenny. You give me power way you no even understand. But now, I go use and take and you. The spirit roars and rushes at her. The entire church shakes as they clash. The spirit sends dark energy toward Tenny. She dodges, flipping over the altar. Tenny raises her hands, sending a wave of light at the spirit. It screams as part of its body burns. Awele and Pastor Ebuka hold hands, praying loudly, their voices filling the church. The spirit weakens. Spirit, no, you belong to me. Tenny, no, I belong to myself. With one final scream, Tenny unleashes all her energy, blasting the spirit into nothing. The entire church shakes furiously, then silence. The spirit is gone. Tenny collapses, breathing heavily. Awele rushes to hold her, sobbing. Awele, my Pekin, I'm sorry. I swear, I no mean to put you for this kind life. Tenny, weak but alive, smiles sadly. Tenny, you know fit change, wetin don't happen, but at least it don't end. Pastor Ebuka kneels beside them. Pastor Ebuka, she break the curse where nobody fit break. Now special picking. Tenny looks up at the sky, the first light of morning shining through the broken church windows. For the first time in weeks, she feels free. Days later, Tenny stands in front of a mirror. For the first time, her reflection is normal. No whispers, no shadows. But as she turns away, her reflection lingers for 1 second longer than it should. Then it smiles.